early.
What's good, folks? We're back. It's another episode of Early.
Special guest in the house, man.
Today, man. We got Leon Mitchell.
Yes, also
AKA,
known as Leon Spades,
yeah,
man.
Facts.
You know,
What's going on?
the guy, the
thank you,
gaffer,
guys.
the electrician, the director, producer, whatever you need on set,
whatever you
I'll
need.
probably do it. So just reach out. How you doing, Brody?
Hey, thank you guys for having me. I really
course.
appreciate it. You
Hell
know,
yeah,
like
bro.
it's an honor.
Hell yeah, man. No,
man.
we honored to have you. You know, before we get carried away. Of course, people already know. Like, subscribe, and all that. But go ahead and give people, I guess, just a brief rundown, like who you are and what you're up to in the world.
Okay, my name is Leon Mitchell. I'm from PG County. I'm a filmmaker. I graduated from Full Sail University. I love making movies.
Yeah.
I run a company called What a Weekend.
Hell yeah.
And like just like hanging out with creatives and vibing out with good people. That's it. That's why we're here right now, right?
That's facts. And again, bro, appreciate you coming through. I feel like Brooke has shown me your work, and I was just like, damn, like this nigga is doing like a lot of shit. Like I saw you was shooting a Super Bowl commercial the other day. Like you know what I'm saying? The What a Weekend we was talking about not too long ago. I feel like a few weeks ago. Yeah, so much stuff that you got going on. What would you say was like your first love? You know what I'm saying? Like your as far as like creating wise, you know what I'm saying?
My first love is and will always be film.
Yeah.
Filmmaking, just as in general.
Was there a film that hit you when you was a youngin that you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
People make this?
Yeah, because I even mean from a standpoint of like I want to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
facts. So the movie that made me want to actually like get into film was the movie The Prestige by Christopher Nolan.
Okay.
It's my favorite movie.
Wow.
It's one of those movies where I feel like you can watch it, and every time you watch it, you'll get something different out of it. It's like you won't see the ending coming, and even if you do see the ending coming, it won't happen how you thought it was going to happen.
Yeah.
Right,
You know what I mean? Like
right.
Christopher Nolan, I think, he's one of my favorite directors, but that movie in particular.
That's also one of my favorite directors. I was gonna say the movie that feels like that to me is The Dark Knight.
For sure.
Oh yeah, for
That
sure.
was probably my
Like-
first significant. I was like, oh, okay.
And that's Christopher Nolan too,
Yeah,
right?
I was like,
Yeah, that's what I was.
movie.
So because
Right.
like before you even said he made The Prestige, I was like, I know what feeling you're talking about, and for me, that's The Dark Knight. That's what I was thinking in my head. And the fact that the same director made both movies is
The
crazy.
Dark Knight was crazy.
100%. But fuck it up.
But what about that? What about The Prestige? Was it for you? Let me ask you this: what was the age that you first saw it? Because that movie came out that movie came out. I want to say in the 90s or something.
Yeah, it was like early 2000s.
Okay,
like,
early 2000s.
I can't remember the age, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I just because I don't even think I saw it in theaters. I saw it like on
TNT.
Yeah,
Right.
TNT. Something like that.
Back in the day, TBS.
Yeah, and I was like, oh man, this was lit.
They be showing the movies.
I had to go buy the movie. You know what I mean? Like went and bought the movie.
USA.
I'm weak after watching it on
Yeah,
TV.
I watched it on TV. I was like, this is crazy.
Nah, for
With the
sure.
commercials and everything in it. It was like, they got
Even with the commercial.
gotta watch it.
Yeah, no,
You know,
bro.
like that's one of those movies that I will always, even if it's on TV, I'm just
Yeah,
gonna sit there
just
and
watch
watch
it.
it.
Yeah,
you know,
facts.
with the commercials, like.
No, that's real shit. That's real shit. But okay, so like, all right, so now you get hit, I guess, with inspiration in terms of, wow, that would be really cool to be a part of that process, making something like that. So when do you actually start going about trying to, maybe get on a set or create something for yourself, right? Like, I know you were talking like around 06, like I guess when YouTube, was fairly still new or whatnot, you had like linked with your boy and he was uploading short films at the time.
So yeah, my friend, his name's Daniel Vicaria. He got me into film. Like he was already doing like little editing videos and Movie Maker and just uploading them to YouTube already.
Right.
And even just like that's like when camera phones like first started to have phones and you could only record like video for 15 seconds.
Right.
We were shooting things with that.
Okay.
Our first little thing was called the Paper Monster, and it was like this little stupid skit that was like about a paper monster that lived under your bed type thing. And but yeah, we would put it on YouTube. And I remember getting the first comment and just knew I was hooked. Like it was like, oh, like,
Off
damn.
the feedback?
Yeah, off the feedback. I was like, oh, this is funny. I was like, people can see this?
In that time, I don't even think we even have the mind to be like, yo, this shit better do 1,000 likes.
No,
It's
no,
like,
no.
It's like we did it, like
bro. The
we
fact that
upload, we
anybody
won,
looking at it is insane.
So that one comment would probably like, bro, like
It meant a
it's
lot.
lit.
Like
It
people,
meant a
somebody
lot to
watched
you.
this.
Somebody watched my shit. Like, it was just like
and
the fact
like
that
made a
somebody,
comment, bro.
it's not
Like that's crazy,
Right.
bro.
any comment.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I'm about to
The
say
whole
any
thing
kind of
is like-
feedback is
Right.
like, damn, like you watched that part, like you watched that.
Right.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was early, like 8th grade, 7th grade type,
Yeah.
like just hopping in, and then from there we just started like making short films, and
Right.
I ended up doing TV production at my school, and a lot of times like I remember getting a C in the class, and it was
Right.
like that was the only class I was like, there's no way I'm gonna get a C in this.
Yeah,
It was the only one that did.
This is
Yeah.
like
He actually
you get a
cared.
C or a
He
D.
actually cared.
Anything else, this is not where I got a C, and I just had to like prove to the teacher that like I knew the stuff. He thought I
Right.
was cheating.
I was
and
even
everything,
going to
'cause
say
my stuff
like
was good.
that feeling that you're describing of like I can't get a C in this kind of is like you believe that you're good at it. That's why you're there. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right,
So
right.
that C is kind of telling you not as good as you think. You know what I'm saying? Or it could be a teacher hating. You know what I'm saying?
No,
'Cause,
that's
like,
what I felt like it was.
I
just felt
mean,
like
but
at
that's
the
how it
time.
would be. You know what I'm saying? But still, that's why you felt something about that C. Like,
Nah, because you're
because
like,
if
I
you get a
fuck
C
with
in a
this
different class, you might be like, this teacher hating on me. But you're not going like fight to
Fight
get your
for it.
grade, girl. You know what I'm saying?
That
So,
is
like-
not crazy. I did y'all like fight for this and have my mom go to the school and everything. Like,
Nah.
hey, mom, like this is
I
not
chose
it.
this joint.
You come to the school any other time.
Yeah, no,
Like
facts.
this is the one.
Nah, that's facts. So how do you go from what's the next step in like breaking into TV production? Like what that look like? Well,
I guess
after Full Sail, what was the next step for you?
Okay, so after I went to Full Sail, getting into the industry was like the big question. Like, how do I get on like actual movie sets? I was thinking like if I had to move to Atlanta or go to LA to do it, and I was very close to.
And this is what you're thinking as your time's winding down in Full Sail. Like you're like, yo, I'm about
No.
to graduate, or did you come back home and like
Okay,
how you know? how
got
you
you. I
go
see.
about it?
So at Full Sail, my only intentions was just to work, make YouTube. Because right now, like I had like a check from YouTube. I was like, okay, I'm gonna just. I saw like there was people that was doing it full time at this. Like it was like the very start of people doing it full
And
time.
you getting a check generated off of views from shorts you've been uploading, like
Yeah.
collectively. Wow,
Yeah.
very tough. Very
Yeah,
tough.
we would get like $200-$300. Like
Hey man,
like
hey,
every
yeah.
other hour.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
right.
you know what I mean? And it's not a lot. Doesn't seem like a lot now, but like
it meant
being like
something.
18, 19, getting that,
Yeah.
I was like, oh yeah, I got a job. What
Nah,
are you talking
facts.
about? Like,
Facts.
but, yeah. So I leaving Florida, I knew I was just going to come back here and just do YouTube.
Right.
But what changed was like me and my friend. He was more so wanting to just take his life in a different direction. Like he liked doing film, but he
Right.
didn't want to know like
A life.
a
of
life
film.
of
Like,
film.
yeah,
You know what I
right.
mean? Like,
And you kind of gotta like fight for that life. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? Like you gotta work hard.
and then
to
like
be able to do
YouTube
it
is a
for a
full on
living.
commitment too. Like we was, me and him did a short together, and then like
It's not
outside-
guaranteed. You gotta really hustle for it.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
matching up schedules, and yeah, we just like all right, we'll chill on doing it. Like we can still be friends and
Right,
everything. Like
100%,
still my
100%.
like best
Right,
friend to this day.
100%, right.
Like, but it just we just wanted to do different
paths,
things.
Right.
So then I was like, all right, I still want to direct. I still want to produce. I still want to. How can I get on set though? Like so I can learn how movies work and all
Right.
this jazz.
Right.
And my homie St. John, shout out to St. John. He told me about this rental house called the Washington Source
Word.
that was looking for hiring.
Right.
So I went there. They was just a lighting company,
Right.
just lights everywhere, like boom, 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 and movies would apparently, from what I hear, movies were coming to them to get all their lights whenever they came in
Yeah.
town. I was like, this is it.
Right.
Like, this is my connect. I could just
Yeah.
from there,
Right there.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I went in there, asked them for a job, and how I got the job is job crazy. So like, my homie, his real name is Danny.
Right.
I went in there and told him like, hey, my friend Danny told me about your place. Like, I'm looking for a job. I really want to get into movies. This, that, and third. This is, what I'm able to do. I would love to learn lighting. Like this, that, and third. They was like, oh, you know Danny? Oh, we gonna give you the job off rip just because you know Danny.
Dang.
So I'm like, okay. Oh,
And what
who
year,
you know?
Around what year is this?
This is 2015.
Okay. Word.
2015.
Okay.
Right. 2015, 2016, around then. And funny story, fast forward, I'm working at the source for like 2-3 months, and Danny comes in, and everything like, yeah. They was like, he was like, oh, that's crazy. And then he goes in there because he's applying for a job there. So when St. John, so they come out, I walk over to him, walk over to the manager at the time, and St. John. I was like, yo, this is the dude that, you know, how I got the job here, blah, blah, blah. It was like, oh, we thought you was talking about a whole different day. Blah, blah, blah. Like, you lucky because we wasn't going to hire you. We hired you on your recommendation. I was like, well, I'm here now.
Danny's such a common ass name too. Like anybody could have been Danny.
Exactly. So like
that's like going in there saying like, oh, well, Mark told me to come in.
Mark,
You know what I'm saying? Like just hoping they know a nigga named Mark.
So you working in that environment got you in the mix, basically.
It did. Like people would come in. I was meet a lot of people I still know to this day that would just come in there, rent lights, and then I would just build up a connection.
Right. You know, recently this week you had a mention I didn't even know. I guess somebody, which I guess you considered as like a mentor. Did you like meet like Alex Acosta?
I did. Yeah,
time?
I met Alex Acosta through his Washington source. Like
Word.
Alex came in and rented some lights, and I asked him just like, "Hey, do you need help?"
Word.
I'll come on, you know, I'll get the lights at a discount, like at a very low.
Right.
They let me take lights on weekends for free, you know.
Man.
So
yeah, if
It's not being used,
if it's not being used, yeah. So yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
I got something. What's up? So
Leon,
then
lift the mic up.
I learned.
Leon, lift the mic up a little bit.
Oh,
Got you. Starting to lean.
No, but you know that's crazy.
Still new to this.
I guess you
He's just talking to us.
Yo, you answered I guess like a question before I even got the chance to ask it. I guess because you got this opportunity like through this like lighting company, that's really kind of how you became like a gaffer on so many sets, right? Because like started off is like, because I feel like when it comes to I guess filmmaking or wanting to be into this space in general, you kind of have to be somebody that's willing to do any type of role to get on set.
right.
I also feel like, just before you get into that, I also feel like I would say everybody that's at every position on a movie set probably loves movies and like wanted to make movies. You know what I'm saying? So they might have all grown up actually being the one holding the camera. You know what I'm saying? Like actually being the one telling people where to go and all that type of stuff when they're putting their own films together. And then as you get older, you become an expert at like one thing. You know what I'm saying? Or like something real specified within the movie, but you're still part of the, you know what I'm saying? It's like being on a football team and you know what I'm saying? Travis Kelce played quarterback in high school and was like the best quarterback on this. You know what I'm saying? But now he plays tight end on a team. You know what I'm saying? It's very interesting how on a movie set, a lot of those people who are on those different roles, because there's so many different roles and they're all super important and they all show when there's an expert at their role. You know what I'm saying? On a film. You know what I'm saying?
And I feel like it has to kind of be like that too, just to keep the professionalism and everything as well. Like, you know, I direct and produce, but how I make most of my money is from doing lights and whatnot. So someone's gonna want, if you're making a movie and you're gonna need lighting, you're gonna want the best person that can light it, right? So I got a specialist something if I'm gonna make money from somebody else. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So like that was just my way. Lighting was my way to getting on set. Like I said, like through those resources, through people I met at the Washington Source. I met a gaffer who mentored me. His name was Mike Wilson. Who taught me everything I know pretty much about lights and distributing power and things like that.
It's crazy because you said this is around like 2015, 2016. And, you know, I know around 2016, that's also around the time that you got the opportunity to work on Jackie.
Right.
And that was nominated like for 3 Oscars and so much more like, you know, awards. So tell me how that was. I mean, how you got that opportunity to work on that set and how did it feel like working on a set that actually wanted to go on and win that many accolades? You know?
Wow. So Jackie was my first time where I saw my name in the credits, like in the actual movie theater.
Right.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's
really crazy.
My mom, she stopped everybody from leaving the theater. she was like, nobody's leaving until y'all see my son's name.
That's lit.
Everybody clapped for me. It was like, it was so embarrassing.
This was in a random theater.
Yeah, it was in a random theater.
yeah,
Like, you know, like,
That's
I was like, hey, mom. I like
no.
whispered to her, like, you know, my mom and my sister, my dad, but they went. I was just like, just whispered, like, y'all gonna see my name in the you know, I did this.
So-
It was like, what?
Oh, did they know that before going into the movie?
Nah, I didn't.
Oh, that's
I told them I worked
crazy.
on it, but I didn't tell them my name was gonna be in it.
Oh, word, that's
But-
crazy. Yeah, that's
Yes.
crazy.
My mom was, yeah, she was
That's a dope
she was
surprise.
like,
Yeah, no, that's fine.
oh, nobody's leaving. You know, no
my-
one's leaving this theater, right? That's,
Oh my gosh.
but yeah, like, yeah, working at the Source was a great like experience.
That's how
and
you
a
went.
great-
That's how you
I
got on
in.
that set.
That's how like
Man.
I'd say if anyone wants to work or get onto a movie sets and that's the route they want to go, I would say like look into working at your local rental house, like in the camera space or gripping electrician, you know, art department. They have houses too. Like that's probably one of the best ways to get on set because people are gonna go there that have movies that are doing
Right.
things. They're gonna might need help. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like
That's facts.
100%.
just ask. You know, 9 out of 10. Like all they can say is no. You in the same spot. Like
That's not a bad bad idea, like to just get in through the back door type shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's
Right.
actually a very great.
I never
piece of
PA'd.
advice.
You know what I mean? Never been a PA before. So, you know, a lot of people say like that's the like how their way of getting on. And I feel like PAing is a great way to learn to see what all the positions are because you get to be around
Right,
and whatnot.
everything. Right, you get to show
But
everything.
if you can get on and, you know, in an actual department and make the money right then and there, you know, you're
Right.
not making a PA rate doing, you know, G&E. It's a little
Right.
bit better. You know what I mean?
Facts,
So-
facts.
That's fine.
100%. So when does like when does shit I guess start clicking for you? When does you know you starting to get traction and you starting to be like, yo, like this freelance thing is really like I guess like you starting to get clientele. You starting to have to I guess like choose
Oh.
between different type of opportunities. Like when does it start coming to a point where you're like, yo, this shit kind of getting a little bit real?
See, I would say like probably after when I left the Washington Source, it was a moment where I had to like choose between like continuing to work at the Source or like
bank on yourself.
yeah, and you know what I mean, like the boss. I started only being there part time after a while,
Right.
and then the owner they just sold to Red Star. The owner of Red Star was like, "Hey man, you know you're never really here for real." Like
Shout out Red Star. You know,
yeah.
we use them, you know, for our show as well too. So shout out
yeah,
Red
shout
Star.
out Red Star. You know, he was just like, you know, and shout out to George too. You know, and Kyle. But they were just like, yeah, you're never here. You know, like,
Like, are you in or you out?
yeah, it's like you gotta, it's about time for you to like make a choice. Like, what you trying to do?
Right.
So I was like, I had just got the opportunity to work on the TV show Swagger,
Right.
and I was like, you know what, this is probably just a sign. Like,
Right.
I should just go for it. So
Yeah.
I went down to Richmond, lived in Richmond for like 6-7 months, worked
Right.
on the TV show down there until like COVID really took off, and
Okay,
then
word.
they put the show on hiatus.
Right.
And then I came back until they figured out how to film with COVID. You know,
That shit was crazy. How that shit shifted
yeah, the
everything.
pandemic
It
was a
was.
crazy time. It
It
almost
was.
feels like it was a dream.
Nah, that was a crazy time. I was actually thinking about it earlier because they were saying how this is the farthest that the stock market has dropped since
Oh, yeah,
COVID.
right.
And I was just
Right.
trying to remember like what was going on around that time. Like it was a crazy time actually.
I made so much money during COVID.
Man,
during the
me
pandemic.
too,
Yeah.
bro.
I think
I,
a lot of
I
people
cannot
did.
lie,
Yeah.
bro. It was definitely a weird time because I was like, bro, it was very productive. It was a productive COVID.
Yeah.
It was.
And then like 2021, like I feel like because COVID kind of ended end of 2020, going into
Yeah, like
2021.
at 2022,
so
like,
20
yeah.
yeah, okay, yeah. So I feel like coming out of it was a very prosperous time.
Man, crypto was boom, NFT. I was like,
Yeah, NFTs, yeah, back.
Man, I was like,
Facts.
geez, what's going
That
on?
shit- but I don't know, like the way the shit is dipping right now. Who knows? We might have another. You know what I'm saying? AI is supposed to be doing some because I feel like we haven't even really
Generational
tapped into AI. Actually, I want to know from like the production perspective, like how do y'all feel? How do y'all feel like about where AI is going from a production standpoint? Because I heard something about how they're trying to remove some like AI generated covers or songs from famous artists because it's like fucking up obviously it's like fucking up the integrity of the art that's being created by, you know what I'm saying, other artists.
Right.
But how do y'all feel about its use in it? You know what I'm saying? Because
AI,
like
what
I feel like there's so many
art in general is crazy.
so many different things that you can do with AI. Do you feel like that? If people are using AI, it takes away from their. I'm asking both of y'all.
yeah,
like, it takes away from their creativity, or do you feel like it has, like what's y'all's thoughts on how?
Art's subjective, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like-
I'm curious about both of y'all's thoughts.
So like if art's subjective, I would say like it's like then AI would have to be a tool, right? So like
Right.
if you use AI and you make art and the art is good, then the art's good.
Yeah.
But like if you use AI and the art's trash,
To
and
like
we
put like
can tell-
Tom Cruise in your movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Not,
it's like
he's not there.
It's like this is not it, bro. Like you're not going. You still, it's still gotta be good at the end of the day. It's like this is clearly like Tom Cruise is definitely not signed up for this.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
That's a fact.
No,
but like as far as like the whole film industry and the whole AI and everyone freaking out about it, I think at the end of the day, it's the writers, right? Remember, like the writers on strike because they didn't
want
want
their likeness
Yeah.
to be
Yeah.
and they
like
came,
actors.
and they was able to stall it off. Like they came to right now AI, they don't got a fear for that, but it is something that's probably down the line. They still gonna have to
right. So so even with the whole writers and they're like being worried about them trying to, the studios using AI to make their stories and whatnot.
shit like that, right.
I even with that, I say like the writers are just going to use AI themselves. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it's like we're trying to stop producers or like the big
Right.
execs from using it.
Yeah.
Right.
But whole time the writers are still going to use it. Like I'm going to use it. You going to use it.
Yeah,
Everyone's going to use it to some
exactly.
capacity. So I see it both sides. It's hard for me to like say like is it right or wrong,
Yeah.
but I do feel like there is a need and there isn't a need.
No, that's
like
a
we
fact.
got fine without it, but
Yeah.
it's here now.
Kind of how Leon said, I do think it's more so of a situation where you're gonna view it as people that don't use AI versus people that do use AI. Like at the end of the day, I think it's just a tool that you can use to enhance like workflows.
Yeah.
I don't think it's something that people need to fear that robs away from creativity. I think you could just 10 times it. Now, obviously, right, I'm not trying to you brought up like Tom Cruise. It's like not AI and the capability of like making someone that wasn't even agreed upon to be in there. But like it's more so like for instance
They don't even know nothing about the
Right.
movie.
Like,
It
I
never
think-
came across his desk.
Right.
When I filmed
You
this, like
Right.
Tom Cruise, because
Like-
they were saying shit like that was going on. Like they were deep faking motherfuckers to like say, "Oh, buy this cryptocurrency." Like this is me, and I'm telling you to
Oh,
buy
yeah,
this.
right,
even
the deep
even
fakes,
with the
right.
whole LeBron James and Stephen A.
Oh, yeah,
Smith
Stephen
situation,
Smith.
motherfuckers was doing like
Which was a
different-
wild situation anyway. But
that shit is so funny.
Man, we can circle back to that
Yeah,
for
that
real
shit's so
because, but like people was using deep fakes to make LeBron say shit he didn't say and all this kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? So I feel you. Like motherfuckers
Word.
is using that shit
Yeah.
to create whole things that would never happen.
Right.
In that type of so like when you talk about that, right? Well, when it comes to AI, then there's a whole conversation about like what are the ethics around AI? What does the education look like in AI in terms of knowing how to distinguish? Oh, that's how do you vet shit? Like, oh yeah, that's not even what like that. Like if you talk about news sources and shit, right?
Yeah.
Like it's like, oh, you see this,
You see a
fucking
video of
car
somebody
burning
saying
and shit.
something,
Oh,
you
this
gonna-
shit.
yeah.
Like no, somebody just like made that shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, in that type of way, sure, like you definitely have to be a little bit more savvy moving into the future. But if we're just talking about like workflows and the shit that you actually do, like I love using AI. Like for me personally, what I do, I love to use it in post a lot. Like I might edit a video, and then once I've edited the video, like from start to finish, did my little effects, something like that. If I'm doing a music video, then I'll render it into like something like a runway ML or like in little sections because I can't upload the whole video, but I can do it in little clips. And then once I do that, then I go back into the project and then I
Yeah.
kind of like input it, right? So it's not all AI, but the AI is helping me out with like my own custom generated effects.
Yeah.
So like that's just one way how I'm using it. I'm like, yo, this is really dope, And in terms of like music and shit like that, again, I'm not like, even though you're gonna have to be conscious of the fact that people will try to rip shit, again, I just think it's just something that saves time. You know what I'm saying? And you get to your end goal faster than you were trying to do. I know sometimes purists can look at that like they think it's muddied. Like, I don't like, I use the help and shit like that. But I don't know.
I'm
It's
like,
to each his own. It's to each his own at the end of the day.
As a musician, what could you use AI to do outside of write your music?
You can produce beats. You can produce beats. And,
Yeah, people rap over beats that don't belong to them all the time.
Right,
Like, that's what I'm saying.
Shouldn't have a problem with
Use
that.
that,
You know,
use that shit. Yeah, like a beat is a beat. You know what I'm saying? If AI made it for me, I'd be lit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's a fact.
I feel like with music, unless you're putting Beyonce on your song and she didn't agree to be on your song, yeah, like that's when I'm like, okay.
See, it's about
but outside of writing your music in the creative process, you know what I'm saying? And that's really only if you rap. Like, if you rap and you say your bars are yours, then yeah. But like, it'd be crazy to be like AI wrote half of this.
Imagine this, right? Imagine
But
this.
if you're a singer, you know what I'm saying? If you're an R&B artist,
It's,
like
it's about to be about
common to-
who had what's your prompt. That's going to be like
Oh, yeah, no, yeah, no,
Hey, what
that's
prompt
where the
did you use?
creativity comes in.
That's
That's
going to be
where
the
the
money. That's going to be the
creativity
money
comes
thing.
in.
It's like,
Bro.
hey, tell me what the prompt you using.
I mean,
Exactly, and it's
the
like-
niggas, motherfuckers gonna start selling templates.
Yeah,
prompt
man.
templates.
It's basically gonna be a matter of, bro, how nice are you with your input? Like, for instance,
Yeah.
you could have
That's what it is
20
now, like, in the
pages
regular
of a
world.
screenplay, and you literally input it into your generator,
And it
your
makes it better.
ChatGPT, and you're
Yeah.
like, yo, maybe not even make it better, or you could be even off some expound upon this.
Yeah,
Now give
yeah.
me the next 20 pages. How I
Turn this into
and
a series.
I gave you a whole bulk.
So-
Now, off of this, I gave you characters, I gave you the arcs and all that. And now, when it gives you the generation, it's not like you're like, oh, complete. Now you're
Yeah,
peer
now you
editing
add to
the,
it.
the
Yeah.
generation. Like, okay, cool. I'm gonna read this collectively and see if there's something I can pull. Shit like that. I'm like,
Yeah.
yo, it's game changing. They're gonna
Yeah.
use it.
So that
I mean, they're already They
Yeah,
got it
I-
already.
they
B.
have
Right.
to.
That being said, you know what I just realized about AI? See, everyone think that AI is going to make things easier, but it's actually going to make things harder because now everything's going to be more of a level playing field. It's like your scripts and screenwriting and things is like why it's one less thing for you to get funded now. It's like
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
it's going to be a little
Right.
harder because the next person's going to have a good script too. You know what I mean?
They'll
It's like
make
why am I?
both. There's
why
no
am I doing
shortage of
this
making
script?
movies. They'll
Right.
make both.
You know what I'm
Like,
saying?
there's
He has a good script, you got a good script.
Yeah,
Like, you both
they'll
use
make
AI.
both. No, they'll make, but they'll make both. There's no like you. I feel like there's more opportunity, and especially in the time that we live in now, there's more opportunity to get movies made if you're looking for some help to make your movie. Like if you're trying to sell a
But
script,
I mean,
you know
how
what I'm
does-
saying?
money
Like,
doesn't
how
change
does-
though,
yeah, how-
because
yeah.
it still takes money to make the movie. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like
yeah.
that's still a finite resource.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
but
Right.
but generate an AI generator just putting out scripts that could happen.
I don't
endless.
know. I don't know if making. I feel like obviously certain budget films are gonna. You know what I'm saying? There is a finite amount of money, but I don't know if there's a finite amount of money when it comes to making movies, because you can make movies for as cheap as you want to
This is
and as
true.
expensive as you want to.
But
You know what I'm saying? Like,
But will those make money?
But the thing is, and the reason I mentioned the time that we're living in now specifically is that people are watching every single thing that comes across their face. You know what I'm saying? So like, if there's any inkling of an audience for it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It'll probably get made, and they'll probably assume somebody will watch it at some point.
Like,
It might be 6 years from now, somebody just bored
It's
scrolling
gonna-
through Tubi.
and it's gonna go
Like,
viral
I
in
keep seeing this. What is
2030.
this?
Like 2030, this ain't gonna be lit.
And then gonna turn into a hit. It's gonna be a cult classic.
and to follow up on that, like, can you talk to me like about how the film community is in this area as opposed to, I guess, when you were really just getting into it? Like, has it grown? How are the resources like? Like, are there grants or things like that available for filmmakers to get involved, like to be able to make these joints come off the ground, or how does that look like? Like as an independent filmmaker trying to get shit started.
Oh man, like, see, it's hard. It is always hard being an independent filmmaker, but it's great because it forces you to be creative and find creative ways to get something done, right? So, like, looking for the grants or using your resources and friends like that's next to you that might have access to something that you could use for your movie, right? So I feel like that's the key to the independent filmmaking, especially when money isn't like something you can really just reach for.
Yeah.
100%.
Like, but the film community in this area between like here and Baltimore is amazing. Like,
Yeah.
over the last, I can say I've been doing this for a while, but I've only honestly feel like I've been in the community only like 8-9 years, to be honest. Like as long as I've been like at the source, like when I started the source, because that's when I was really meeting people. Like before, it was just my little group of friends, like the three of us making, shooting stuff and just learning on our own, but not really meeting anybody. Like I'm not going to like the film festivals. I'm not going to screenings or art shows and things like that. Learn, like there's so many creative people out here that just come from different walks of life, different backgrounds that I'm missing out on. I'm just so impressed with the Baltimore and DMV like film art community just in general. Like shouts out to like people like Amber who invited me. Amber, you guys said she was on the show. She took me to a few art galleries coming in, like introduced me to a lot of people that I work with today. Same with Darius Lyles, like
Darius,
like the damn boobies. Like
what'd be funny as shit, man? You don't know how many times I just linked with Leon on a set. Like somebody else brought me onto the set, and I'm like, "Oh, Leon!" Like, of course you're working. And like he's brought me on set as well too. But it just be so funny, like how many times I'm like, "Oh, bro, here."
And the community's not like it's a big community because you like you keep running into the people over and over. You meet some new people, but it's always the same. You see the same faces, and I feel like that's like is great. Like everybody seems like they help each other, and I will say like I feel like in the art community here is not like the crab in the barrel mentality. I don't feel like that at all, So I do feel like everybody can get it. I do feel like everybody can win. Just because you're popping right now or you have something going on doesn't mean like I can't be. You know what I mean? Like there's no for real reason to hate. I feel like like if everybody, it all circulates. Like if everybody works together, you put put good out, good's gonna come back. You like,
I also do feel like filmmaking is such like a big project and endeavor that it makes sense to do it with as many people as you can. And like me working on something that Brooke is making doesn't take away from anything that I want to make in the future. It actually gives me like
more ammo.
More experience on something that's not going to cost
another
me
credit
out of my
anything.
you know what I'm saying? It's not going to cost me out of my pocket. If anything, it might put money in my pocket just to help. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like it don't.
And at max, it costs time. Just a little time to invest in.
But again, you're working on somebody else's version of something that you like to do anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit makes the most sense to me.
So now I guess you're in the throes of it. You've built all your resources up, and and now you're at a point where you building a platform where you're trying to like I guess provide these same resources to people to find I guess dope things happening in the community with What a Weekend, right? So can you talk about I guess how you even had the idea to go about starting that and like what's your direction or where you guys are trying to go with that?
What a Weekend really came from me wanting to do something else outside of film, really, and I felt like my identity really just became filmmaking, if that makes sense. Like,
and around what time is this?
Your own like personal
COVID,
identity,
right? This is like
how you viewed yourself.
Yeah, like my own personal identity. I feel like this had I want to say this was probably what 2019, 2020.
In the back of your mind,
2018, so like around there.
Right.
It's like I had the idea. The name actually came from my cousin Niles. Shout out to Niles B on Instagram.
Hey.
But he was telling me about his experience when he went to Vegas and his What a Weekend moment. I won't go into like put him out there on blast.
Right.
But long story short, he woke up in a hotel room and the whole room was just like messed up, like pillows everywhere, graffiti. There was a girl throwing up in a trash can, like on some hangover shit. Like he was just looking around, his friends all passed out on the floor type shit. And like out this room of chaos, the only thing that made sense was like on the bed, there was like a messy ass bed, but there was a plate, like a burger on a plate with like the pickle on the side, perfectly neat, like not messed up. Everything else, he's like, that's the only thing in the room that made sense. And I was just like, What a Weekend. And I was like, that's the name. That's a name right there. So my cousin Niles from there. But the idea was just to help people curate a way for people to know what's going on, curate a way to connect businesses to people, help people find events. Yeah, a lot of great things coming around the horizon, but that's the idea. It's been a little hard juggling that and the filmmaking life and whatnot, but it's moving.
It's cool though because I feel like you even find a meeting in the middle, right? You kind of use those type of skills to like market What a Weekend. Like I see you be making skits and different commercials and shit, and even the things like that you've done like with brands like Astera lights and shit like that. So I always like find it cool when you could use your your skill set to kind of like knock out other endeavors as well. Like I don't need to outsource for that. I can shoot that. Like, now I can get my feet wet. Like, y'all be needing me to gaff and shit, but nah, for this type of shit, I'm shooting this motherfucker.
Yeah, I do have those like little bit of skills that I can just whip out to help. Like, true.
And what's funny is something like production is something that's needed in every industry. Every industry has to create content that puts themselves in front of customers. You know what I'm saying, and some audience or whatever the fuck. So like that's a skill that translates to literally any industry.
It does. Like I'm so happy that I ended up doing this career path because like even let's say I do decide like I don't want to do lights, like I can always fall back on editing. Some companies going to need someone to edit something. Yeah. Some company might need someone to film something. Yeah. Some companies going to need somebody to help them put a shoot together. Yeah. Some company, there's like so many aspects that ways that you can go. It's just because filmmaking is such a creative space. Just find a way to be creative and get that job.
And again, I feel like every company needs like a commercial here or like an interview that they got to shoot. Like they all need some form of media. You know what I'm saying? So you can do that there's so much opportunity in doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, because people be talking about how I'm always thinking about how you got to be, especially in like this kind of economy, like you got to be in a industry that's somewhat foolproof. Like what's needed at all times, and media is needed at all times. So the people that 100%. Like make it, you know what I'm saying, is gonna be needed at all times. Like
what industry do you? And this is my question to both of you guys. Yeah. What industry do you feel like isn't foolproof right now?
Not foolproof.
Isn't foolproof.
Isn't.
That's a good question. I'm trying to think of the ones that are like in trouble.
I would say shit like journalism. Or
journalism's a good one.
Things like things of that nature. Because of AI, that's where it really becomes on some.
I think journalism was in trouble though before AI.
For sure, but now with that shit like that, that's what I think off top. Another.
I feel like driving with like self-driving cars being more prevalent.
So like logistics and shit like that. Like truck driving, shit like that nature.
It's not like indirect.
Okay, yeah, truck driving.
I feel like a few years ago, people were like scared that it would be here by now. I don't think it's like here by now or even coming in the next like 5 years. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like that's something that if I was a driver, I'd be looking to pivot like right now. You know what I'm saying? I just would be looking. I'm not going to like quit my job and jump in another industry tomorrow. But I'm going to look to pivot. You know what I'm saying? Like,
so I would say like...
I'm going to start taking some classes. I'm going to do something.
With the self-driving thing, with the truck driver, I definitely see it. But I feel like still, though, like drivers, like, again, like the whole film industry, like, I just feel like there's things that, like, Teamsters and the whole union and whatnot, like, are in place to stop the whole AI thing from taking over.
But so I hear that, and I might be ignorant to the situation because I know about unions and stuff like that, but I don't know too much about it. But aren't only some people protected under a union, but there's like a bunch of other people that are in that industry. You know what I'm saying? So if it's only a union that survives, what happens to like to the other people that aren't part of that union?
Yes, like okay, so for example, like the film industry, like you can have indie movies and non-indie movies, right? And then the non-indie movies will be under the union, so they're going to be protected for sure. Like 100%. But let's say, those people that are truck drivers, they could just join the union. That's guaranteed. Be on a set. There's things that
I guess what I'm saying is like, is it easy to just join a union? Like, is that an easy thing to do?
If you as a team, so. Again, shout out to the Washington Source or Red Star. I got in the union because it was a shop. It was a union shop, and you had to be in the union So by me working there for 3 months, they automatically put me in the union.
Yeah, yeah.
So I didn't have to go through
So it
the
wasn't
hurdles.
hard. Yeah,
it wasn't hard for me.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
right.
But for other people, it might be hard.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you know, they're paying dues and
Right.
Yeah,
I still have to pay
yeah,
dues, but like
yeah.
paying like, you know, to the 2,000 and some, if you're in camera union, you know, that's like 10,000. You know, it's
Yeah.
like
Right.
it could be anything.
Yeah, but there's absolutely benefits to it. That's why people do it, right?
Yeah, if you want to work on like the union stuff, like the Wonder Womans or the Captain America movies and stuff like that come into town.
Yeah, you just
Oh,
worked
yeah,
on
that's-
you just worked on
That's
that.
how you get
know
yourself.
what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
that's how you get
I
yourself in a
know, that was
good.
a
Yeah,
cool ass shit. Like,
that makes sense.
How was
You
it
know what I'm
working with like Michael Bay, Ava DuVernay? Like how was working on those types of sets?
So Ava, I will say, is the nicest woman I've ever met. in my
Really?
life. Yeah. So you know what's crazy? I didn't know it was her until after I had a whole conversation with her.
Oh,
word.
wow.
Yeah, like, and it's embarrassing to say.
Man, that's still, but
Like,
you
that's
linked out
a
on some
very
human
good way to do
vibes.
it.
So that's
But
that make it
I
even
know
more
of
special.
Ava. Like I know like the work. I watch
Yeah,
her
of course,
movies.
of
I just didn't know it was her.
If I just didn't
Right.
know her by like looking at
Yeah,
it.
you were like,
You
yo,
know
what
I'm
the
saying?
fuck is you?
Because she again, Mike Wilson got me this gig, and I'm sitting on working on set. Yeah. I just watching this lady like direct everybody and
Right.
like doing it flawlessly too. Like, nah, the camera has to be this way so that I can have this. Yeah. Can we do this? And walking through the lady as she's asking her questions and all this stuff. So like as I'm cleaning up, and she was just sitting there like, you know, just doing her thing on her phone
Right.
or whatever. I was like, let me just say something to her. Just like, I was like, hey, I just want to let you know, like, as an aspiring director, watching you work today was just amazing. Like, you
That's
killed this.
cool.
Like,
That was your context without even knowing.
knowing.
what you
Yeah, I was
you
just
know
like,
what
yeah,
I'm saying?
I took big notes from it. Like, you know, I was very impressed. I'll say that.
yeah.
Like, blah, blah,
Right.
blah, blah.
Right.
And she was like, oh, thank you. That really means a lot. Blah, blah. You know, like, and I was like, oh, you know, probably it kept going over my day.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
then as I kept cleaning up, Mike Wilson came over to me and was like, oh, so you had a conversation with Ava, I saw. Like, how was that?
Oh, we-
I was like, what you talking about?
Oh,
He was
we-
like, yeah, that's Ava DuVernay. I was like, stop it. No, it wasn't. I was like, she thinks I'm an idiot. And like, of course I did a good job of Ava. Like,
Nah, that's really dope.
I feel like that's the best way to do it though. Like not know who you talk because it's more. You're not. You know what I'm saying? It's more
Yeah,
genuine.
genuine
You
in
know
that
what I'm
way.
saying?
But-
Like
Michael Bay was a different story because I thought I was about to get yelled at with Michael Bay.
Really?
Like, talking to him.
Oh man, that's tough.
I was super stressed. We had we was doing that job in the truck. We had a generator.
That's for a
and
commercial.
Yeah, it was for a commercial for the military, or I mean for the Secret Service.
yeah.
And we had a generator that went out and wasn't working. Just boom, boom, boom. So the DP kirking off on me. The DP came from Italy.
Right.
Dude was mad, like, what's going on with the generator? How long until the lights come? I was like, man, just give me like 5 more minutes. Like, blah, blah. So as I'm like stressing, like I'm yelling at everybody walking, like, yo, let's get these lights up, blah, 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 blah. Like I'm stressing because he's stressing me out.
Right.
So I see Michael Bay walk over. He looks at me and just starts walking like fast. I said, oh fuck, like this,
weak.
he's about to spaz.
Oh, weak.
Like I heard the stories. This is me. So like he comes over to me. He's like, hey man, you film here in DC? You work in DC a lot? I was like, yeah, you know, I live here. Like this, you know, this is the market where I'm at. Blah blah blah. And all he said was, I hate filming here, bro. Like I'm not even gonna lie to you.
Wow.
They don't let me do the things I want here. You know, y'all got too many rules out here.
Oh.
I was like, yeah, you know, I feel that, you know, the whole government things out here.
Right. Yeah. Right.
And he kept going on just like, you know, just like wanting to talk and whatnot. But the whole time I'm like stressed out about the
Stressing,
lights.
right.
Yeah.
I was like, respectfully, Mr. Bay, like, I just trying to get your lights up so you don't yell at me later on. Like I'm just trying to go. He's like, I understand, bro. He just like walked off. I was like, oh, I talked to Michael Bay. Like,
I'm weak. That's crazy.
Hey, son.
Now they are pretty strict. What is it that they don't allow you to do here that they allow you to do other places? Like
I guess
what do
like
you do with that?
getting permits. I guess they have to go through different.
You can't even fly.
I'm about to say flying a
You can't
drone.
fly
I know
drones.
for sure.
Yeah, like, exactly.
Flying a
Drones are
drone,
a
I
perfect
know for
example.
sure. I've tried to fly drones. Like, in not even. Sometimes you can be outside of DC. They won't let you fly them shit. So
Yeah, it's like
that
within
shit's
20
hard.
miles or something.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. That shit's hard.
That shit-
So, yeah,
Are there
that's an
any
example
other
like
things
that.
that I don't know
That's
about?
deep right
Like,
there.
I'd say like the drone thing. I'd say like just like getting permits. Like, you know, you can't really like put your camera down like a national mall, like a tripod down. Like,
yeah.
you know, like in other spots where you could just,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
other places around the world, just put
That's
your camera there, shoot.
interesting. Yeah.
You know, like you can't put like generators or anything on certain sidewalks and
Yeah.
you know in that
Everything
area.
probably looks like a security threat.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
In
right.
DC,
Sure.
everything probably just looks like one because you never know what somebody's setting up a tripod for.
Well,
these
yeah,
days.
exactly. They're like, what they got going on right there?
Somebody
Like,
put a rifle on that. shit. You think there's out there just shooting? They're just a tripod. They're shooting a music video or some
Right.
shit. He turn
Yeah,
around.
you see a little sparkle in there, like, yeah, they got a scope on that thing.
Yeah, the nigga be like, this is a generator. Yeah, it's a generator. Yeah.
Oh shit! Nah, I didn't even think
Hey,
about that.
but,
That's crazy.
Do you have a favorite set out of all the sets that you worked? Is there one set where you're like, yo, this was just like this was a dope time. Maybe you had the most fun on it. Maybe you learned the most. I don't know if that's one and the same. You know, maybe those two are even different. But like, what are some memorable sets that you've been on?
The most memorable. So one of my early on like jobs I did Between Two Ferns with Zach Galifianakis and Barack Obama.
Oh, that's
wow.
popping.
So, but the whole time I got a
Wee.
key grip credit as it, and that's one of
That's
those moments
crazy.
where her name was Michelle Fox. She came in from Funny or Die, and to the store, and she ordered 2 C-stands. That's it.
Yeah.
So when she came
Came
in,
into the store.
yeah, she came in there, and I was just like, "Hey, 2 C-stands. I know I could do this job. Like,
right.
I can set that up. Like,
Right,
hey, do you need
right,
help?"
right.
And she thought about it for a second. It was just like, "Yeah, I could use some help. Yeah, if you can, get off tomorrow and pass this little security clearance, like you're good." And I didn't know what it was, and I,
Right.
did it, submitted all the stuff. They approved it, and yeah, I had to drive to the White House. Like the job was like at the White House. Like I parked my car at this one off-site location so they could sniff it.
Right.
And everything, and then I was able just to drive my shit onto the front
You
side.
were just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I was
going
like,
on?
what's going on?
This
like,
is actually insane. So
Yeah.
far. This is so
and
crazy.
It was in there. It was like, dang, I'm like in the White House, and I'm like rolling out cable and whatnot, putting things up. And I know that like we're filming Barack Obama because they made it very clear, like, hey, look, don't fuck up, like, don't touch shit, don't plug your phone into certain
socket.
stuff and
Right.
like just like that. And funny enough, I didn't realize like we wasn't supposed to plug our phone in. Like we could plug our
You
phone
learned
in.
the hard way.
We could plug our phone in.
1%.
We could plug our phone in, but they had a designated spot for us to plug it in.
Right, right.
So I plugged it in the wrong spot and like just kept going on with my day. I saw Zach Galifianakis and he was like in his room. I didn't know it was him though. And so I like walked over and he was like, I was like, hey man, like, you excited? Like just thinking he was a regular actor. He was like, nah, I'm actually real nervous, this, that. And I was like, nah man, you're gonna do real good. Like, blah, blah, blah. Like,
Yeah.
he's like, thanks, bro. Boo, boo, boo. And
Wait,
then,
you thought he was like a background actor?
I know who he was.
No, when you say no, I'm saying when you say you don't know who he was,
I didn't know who
you didn't know what he was. You didn't know
I
who
knew,
he
like,
was
he was
in that
fu-
moment,
I mean,
like, or
like,
you didn't know who
yeah,
Zach
I hope he
Galifianakis was.
I knew he was an actor because he had a script, but like
But you didn't know who he was.
I didn't know.
Like if somebody
Nah.
that day would have been like, "Oh, can you do this for Zach Galifianakis?" You wouldn't have known who that
I
was.
wouldn't know. I know the name Zach. I know like,
Okay.
oh, Zach Galifianakis for The Hangover. I would have known
Okay,
that.
okay,
But I
okay,
didn't like
that's
looking
what
at
I'm
Zach
asking,
Galifianakis in person versus looking at him for like looking at him
On
on The
the
Hangover
screen.
and looking
Yeah.
at him on Between Two
Okay.
Ferns. I didn't put.
I
two
was
and
just trying
two.
to understand
I was
which
like, no, this is
level.
a white guy.
I got you. I was trying to understand what level of not knowing who you was talking
Yeah, yeah,
about. Okay,
yeah.
I got you.
He just like
I follow.
Yeah, he's like a white dude. Blah blah blah.
Yeah,
and it was
yeah.
like Barack Obama actually came in. I was like, oh, and he made like the Hangover jokes. I was like, oh, that's Zach Galifianakis. Like blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So that's what I get. But Barack Obama, like that dude, really controlled a fucking room, man. Like
Yeah.
he walked in, he was like, so this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna do 2 takes. I'm gonna do this, and you can get your close up, and then I'm
Yeah.
walking out. Just like that, like told us how to do it,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
it's-
man.
we did it. My man didn't mess up. He knew
Yeah.
the lines and everything. Like it was cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that sounds dope.
That's
So
dope, man.
it was how much of that? Because I watched Between Two Ferns. How much of that is actually in the script? Like, did you see the script?
I would say the whole thing is
Okay.
scripted.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like the whole thing is scripted. And if it's not, then Barack Obama definitely knew the questions before he walked in there. You know what I mean? Like
you're not getting him off. Like,
yeah.
Catch him
The whole
off.
time, like they flew them out to the White House because they filmed that whole thing in California. So
so they came here. For that.
They came here just for that. Yeah. Like so we just put it up in the room, and it was like a whole gag to make it look like he was in the room. Like y'all been filming this in the White House the whole time. Like that was like the whole like joke.
Yeah.
So like
that's crazy, bro. That somebody just walked into your store and bought 2 C-stands, and now you on that kind of job.
Yeah,
that's crazy,
bro.
That's crazy. That shit will get you places.
Vocal, man.
Like
that shit
before
will
I
get
did
you
any
places.
movie, any big thing, like that was my first like big thing. Yeah, and I feel like I'll always remember that because that just remind me, like ask for what you want. You know what I mean? Like.
You didn't even want
I was
anything.
no
You just
better
wanted to
than
help.
anybody at the time.
You didn't know what they were doing when you asked her.
Nope.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So you didn't want anything. You just wanted to help.
The only thing I knew that it was Funny or Die.
You want to be on a joint.
But that was
Funny or
about
Die
it.
is pretty popular. Like
It was popular.
especially back then. If I used to fuck with Funny or Die. Creators of that joint was Will Ferrell and somebody else, but they used to have that joint. When he was playing the landlord, no, the baby was playing the landlord. He was playing the tenant. Y'all never seen this?
I
Funny
haven't
or
seen
Not?
that.
A week. It was like one of the first like videos to go crazy on that joint.
Yeah, I saw like a bunch of their skits, and I definitely followed them for a minute. You know what I mean? Like I didn't see that one in particular, but I knew like they was a thing. So I definitely wanted to.
Oh my god, they had this other joint. My bad. They had this other joint. Y'all know Ramani Malco?
Yeah.
That be on Think Like a Man.
Yeah.
They had a joint with him. He played like this, like, I don't know if he was like a cab driver or like a gym teacher, but they like that shit was funny as fuck too. If y'all ever get, you know what I'm saying, a free moment, just check out Funny or Not. That shit was cool. If I would have heard like she was associated with that, I'd been like, oh, like she's probably gonna do something interesting.
Yeah,
but to be doing that is crazy.
I definitely thought it was gonna be something dope.
But to be doing that is but to be doing a fucking interview with the president is insane. Like you can't even fathom that. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
That's crazy.
That job helped me get as I was a key grip on that, and that helped me get later down the line. Funny enough, I did another interview with Barack Obama for Decent DeMero. Remember those guys when they was like,
Deezus and Mero.
So when they did Barack Obama again, I only got that job because they saw on my profile I had that picture with back in the day. They was like, oh, he could do it again. Yeah. So that's the only reason why I got that job.
Look at that.
Yeah, like they know he already got the clearance. You know what I'm saying? Like he already got the security clearance.
We did that time we did it at Howard. We filmed it in the library at Howard.
Okay.
And Secret Service wasn't playing there either. Like once they cleared a whole like little hallway for him to walk through and everything.
Do y'all want to circle back to that Stephen A. Smith LeBron situation?
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on that? Like, who do y'all feel like is in the right or wrong?
I think Stephen A. is hilarious for doing this whole press run.
Yeah, bro. I didn't know if it was for that or if it was for the new contract. I didn't know what he's going around promoting. But this nigga's on a whole bunch of different talk shows.
Like LeBron. Like I thought. Now in the moment seeing it, I was like, LeBron funny as shit. Like he just had to take that moment. So I was like, it's funny, but I didn't know that there would be this whole media run.
Well, do you think it's
who you think's in the right?
Do you think it's a thing or not a thing? Do you think it's a thing or not a thing? Like, do you look at that and be like, oh, like we got to talk about this?
No, I didn't think it was anything, but now I feel like Stephen A. just kind of just made it,
turning it into.
He went to Fox News with I forgot what
He went to Fox News to talk about it.
Yeah, I'm like,
Hannity?
Sean Hannity. Sean Hannity. Yeah. I'm like, yo, bro, what? Like, this is too much, bro.
Yeah.
You cited it.
But you said you think he's in the wrong in this situation?
Yeah, who's in the wrong?
I just think he's annoying.
Who do you got side with? You feel like LeBron?
I'm with Bron. Like, I mean, no. But this is the thing. This is the thing, though. This is where I'm not with. This is where I'm with. Niggas can criticize your son. He in the league.
I feel that way.
That's how I feel.
I feel that way too.
He
like,
in the league.
Yeah,
bro.
like is he not a
basketball
player? Like
you know what I'm saying? That's on Stephen A. part. That shit's weird. Like that. But
wait, what's Stephen A. part? Like what part of the Stephen A. part?
I just think
the
media
tour.
On
like,
every platform.
Yeah.
About the
that I think we all agree. I think that we all agree is he's looking for something. He's looking for something. He's looking for like just he's relishing in this moment of attention.
But
100%. That aside, you know what I'm saying?
that aside,
I do feel like you know what I'm saying.
your
His son is in the league.
You still
you know what I'm
gotta
saying?
be in your feelings. You know what I'm saying? You know, still gotta be in your feelings, bro.
And I do feel like it sounded like Stephen A was on this hill of I'm talking about the position you're putting your son in. And I also feel him for that too. Like if that's what he's talking about, he's not really talking about
making these.
You know what I'm saying? He's only what I'll say to that is that he's only talking about it because you've pushed for all of this. You know what I'm saying? Like which I'm not blaming you for it, but like you know what I'm saying, people are gonna, it happened. People are gonna talk about it.
See,
you know what I'm saying?
I agree with that, but to a certain point, it's like at a certain point, it's like, why is it always the headline? You know, like you don't. We don't always have to talk about.
They need something
LeBron.
to talk about. It's 7 days in a week, and it's like 2 or 3 games. You know what I'm saying? Like there's only so much going on.
It's like this is his moment, and I feel like the constant press run on it. I think is just crazy.
Yeah.
Yes, I think he has the right to comment on his son.
Yeah.
LeBron did push for this dude to be in the league. Like realistically, would he be in the league without LeBron?
No,
probably not.
So
he probably still be in college because he could. I feel like college would be a great center for him. Like he was only there once. He's only there 1 year. Right. Got his feet wet. He got second year. He probably do something. Yeah, right. No, but even then, I'm saying like he don't necessarily need to be in the league other than the fact that you wanted him here. Now that he's here and he's not really doing well, people are gonna. You know what I'm saying? You want him to treat him like he's not in the league and not say anything. You know what I'm saying?
I think he will adapt though. I do think like after dude just got out of high school, go to the like get the dude like a year, 2 years, 3 years to get right, you know what I'm saying, and play and figure out like he didn't have that time really to play at college, you know what I'm saying? He didn't really have that time. Like he gonna be fine. Like it's a whole new league for him. Like
that's kind of why I also agree with Brooke. Like this really shouldn't have been anything. You know what I'm saying? Like LeBron said what he had to say,
but it's social media.
Just people saw it. Yeah. But how do y'all feel about where the Lakers are right now? Like, do you actually think? Not even. I don't mean to say it like in the wildest dreams, but like, do you think they are a finals team?
I think they're in contention, but I do think the Thunder are probably the favorites right now.
Yeah, definitely Thunder.
Yeah. Thunder definitely the favorites.
In my opinion,
as much as I love the Lakers now.
Sorry, now.
Thunder looks great. Just even one last
where I'm not gonna hold you. I haven't really paid attention to basketball in the last like 2 weeks. Like, where are things right now? Like, where's Boston right now?
I mean, Boston look really good, but they just took a L to Thunder at their home yesterday. Shea just is making the MVP case. He's just been doing that 61 consecutive games of 20 points.
With 20?
Yeah.
I did see
I thought Boston was going to win that game.
Yeah, he was just going crazy.
I thought Boston.
Oh, really?
And then they shined his logo on their center and on
in Boston?
I was like, I guess Converse did that. Like, I don't
know. Word. Yeah.
Like his new shoe drop. Yeah. So they did. I was like, oh, shit. That's crazy.
The script, the NBA script wanted Boston to win that day.
Yeah.
I'm
weak. And Cavs look crazy. Cavs are another 15-game winning streak. So
I did see that motherfucking 30-20-20 game from Jokic. I saw those numbers. I was like, that's insane.
I missed the last few games, but I did catch the Boston jank. Nah, man, like I don't know. This year of basketball hasn't felt good. I don't know.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know. I wasn't excited for it going into.
I feel like that's a sign of the overall. I was about to say I thought it's been an interesting season, a more interesting season than we've had in the last couple of years. But the fact that you feel that way might be a sign that it actually is losing popularity. Like people will say that it's losing popularity. I'm like, oh no, I don't know. Like I can see that.
I wouldn't say
that. I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
But sports betting made that thing go up.
It's just a new generation. New generation of fans.
Yeah, but I also think it made people like hate it more.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Sports betting made people pay attention to it more, and then in turn hate it more. Like people hate watching motherfuckers just jack up threes all game. They hate watching 25-point blowouts, and then it come back and be a 20-point blowout in the opposite direction. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just games of runs. Every basketball game is a game of runs. No anything.
Even though I agree just I feel like with all things, they cater it to the new generation coming.
Oh,
and
yeah,
they
yeah,
fuck
yeah.
with
I
that.
think I get it,
That's
yeah.
just what it be. Like, it's not like, to be honest, like how they projected it. They're like, our league, we'll do our numbers. That's our bottom line.
Who
This
said
is-
that?
No, like Adam Silver, like
Oh,
you making
word.
all these different rule changes and shit like that. You're doing that so at the end of the day, you generate more revenue. Like, this will make it more entertaining to watch.
The rule changes and stuff.
You
I
think,
mean, the
you
three-
think the rule changes make it
I
more
don't think
interesting?
it's.
I mean,
I don't think it's been. I don't know. I don't know if it's been making it more interesting.
I'm saying now.
Definitely
I
not the
think
All-Star
I think
game
that's
format.
the purpose of making these
an
changes to the
attempt.
game. I prefer the game that I knew coming growing up.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the gameplay I prefer. But you make those changes because what? You're not trying to like enhance. You're just trying to like make
More money. I get
make
what you're
more
saying.
money.
I
You're
don't,
just
even,
trying
but
to
I
make
don't
it
even
more
know how
entertaining
can it
of a
be.
game.
How can it be about more money? I feel like the game has changed.
What
The
is-
players,
what is-
the players move differently.
What is it
you know
about?
what I'm saying?
Then I would say more so. Then if it's not about that, what do you think? Why do
I
you
feel
change
like
the,
I
the
feel like
rules of the game? It's like-
well, I think that they're trying to make the game like better. Like, I mean, I guess kind of like you said, like they're trying to make it more entertaining, but I don't necessarily look at it as them
Right.
trying to make it more entertaining. I think it's more like they're looking at how the players play the game and trying to make it make sense within what people are used to seeing, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? I feel like they're changing the rules of the game because of how the players are playing the game now.
I hear
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I
Not
do-
necessarily because of money, but because the players are starting to play the game differently, which is now getting a different reaction out of the fans. And maybe they're trying to save them from losing their money.
Right.
Yeah. But you know what I'm saying?
No,
I don't know
that's
if
a
I'm,
fact,
if
but
I'm following you.
I definitely do want to be mindful too because I know my boy got to go to a dinner.
Oh,
I don't.
shit.
I don't have to go to the dinner anymore.
Oh,
I'm
shit.
good.
No, I'm about to
We had
say,
work-
go sit here
we had to
yapping.
work-
No,
yeah, we had to work- I worked that out.
7:28, so I was like,
Oh, my
hey,
bad,
this
G.
is good.
I worked. We worked that out.
Oh, all right,
okay,
bet.
Once I saw like the time difference, I was like, yeah, let me just, I'm going out
Oh,
here.
word.
Like,
So wait,
job.
damn. So like it was about to happen, but we went over.
Nah.
My bad.
no. So when I was on my way over here, like
Yeah,
driving
yeah.
up here, I was called like just because I didn't realize I didn't put the address in when I talked to Brooke earlier.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I was like, oh dang, this is actually kind of a little bit of ways from me.
You
blah
said
blah
you from
blah.
where? PG.
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
over
word,
so
yeah,
like
yeah.
a little like Kettering. Like
Okay. How?
It was like
that's like over by I don't know where that's by.
PG Community College.
Okay, yeah, I feel like I know that.
Oh,
general
it's
area.
by the FedEx. I live right by FedExfield.
Oh,
Oh,
FedEx,
bad. Yeah. Facts.
Yeah, around down that way.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay.
Are you a Commanders fan?
I am.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nah,
You
so
know.
how did you feel about our season this year?
Real good.
Anything? How you can't feel anything but that? You know what I'm
real
saying?
good.
Like, what do you think about the Debo Samuels joint? What do you think?
Going crazy.
Yeah, I feel like we going. I feel like
y'all doing a lot
Debo
of
Samuels was
shit.
cool, but now that I'm seeing that Cooper Cup is about to be released,
He
like
is
I feel like
released.
so he is released.
yeah.
Now I'm like, look around, get Debo and Cooper because I low key when I heard both of them was available or gonna be available, I would have rather had Cooper. I feel like he a solid little compliment to Terry and
100%.
Yami.
I think we just need. We definitely need a good. I say give us like 2 years.
Yeah.
We're gonna have a ring.
Oh yeah, I can see.
I-
something
like,
that.
if we-
I don't even want to get too hyped.
I don't want to
Like,
get too hyped,
personally-
but like
personally,
we just.
I don't want to get
we
too
just
hyped. 'cause
gotta-
I feel like
a
I do this to myself
couple more
every
picks
time.
and
Yeah.
like.
A couple
Nah,
more
you look
off
good.
seasons, a couple
Yeah.
more deliberate off seasons. You know what I'm saying?
But if we did, I wish that we just didn't lose to the Eagles as bad that we did when we
Yeah.
did play them.
But then the Eagles spanked the Chiefs. Like the
They
Eagles were
did.
just for real. Like they were just for real, especially and they put it together those last
If
two
you
games.
lose to the
Like,
champs, you could feel okay with that.
You can,
Yeah,
As long as it
yeah.
wasn't the Seahawks, but like
yeah.
I really hate the Seahawks guys.
Why?
So I feel like growing up, every time I would watch the Skins go to the playoffs, we
they
would lose to the Seahawks.
That's absolutely that feels.
And
like
I was just like,
that
yo,
feels
fuck
the
these
truth.
guys.
Nah,
Like-
that feels like the truth. They're always the spoilers of like, because the thing is, when we go to the playoffs, it's never like a deliberate playoff run. It's like we kind of backed our way in, and it's like, oh, like what?
Yeah.
This is where you see where it could happen. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that, like, and once you're in the tournament, dog, like you never know what happened. Look at the
Anything
Giants.
happen.
You know what I'm saying?
All
Like,
right.
so. But then the Seahawks first round get us out of there. You know what
every
I'm saying?
time.
But this
They got
this year
Darnold,
was.
though. They-
You said what?
They just picked up Darnold.
Who did? Oh, the Seahawks.
Yeah.
Oh, they just picked up Sam
Yeah.
Darnold.
They gave 110 mil.
Oh, that damn. So
Yeah,
Gino's out of there.
Yeah, Gino's to the Raiders. They traded him to the Raiders.
Oh,
Yeah.
For 110?
that's a crazy move. I did not even know about. That's crazy.
I mean, it's still
110 is a lot of
it's
fucking money.
It's under market though. Like
Because of the year he had
market
last
is
year?
the market like 55, so he getting about 30 something. So yeah, it's like
Yeah.
after the year he got, that's exactly what he gonna get.
Yeah,
So yeah.
yeah.
So I do think it's a slight upgrade from Gino, but they just lost DK Metcalf though. He's on the
Yeah.
Steelers now. So.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think it's the Steelers are very interesting because I'm like, man, y'all don't have Najee Harris anymore. No run game. You do have Pickett and Metcalf though.
Yeah.
That's crazy. But like
Pickett is
whoever's
tough.
the quarterback, it's
No,
kind of set
Pickens.
up. It's
George
not
Pickens.
set up.
Steelers
Yeah,
golden
George-
time
It's
was
not. It's
back
not
with
set up for
AB.
success. It's not set up for success
I,
right now.
I remember doing so the Madden. Remember when AB was on the Madden cover?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I did like some of the press run stuff.
Oh,
and
word.
for the
That's
Madden
tough.
cover back then.
That's tough.
And so there's his name's Alex Wobbler, and he does a lot of stuff for like the NFL. Like he's always at the Super Bowl every year. Like
Right.
as a dope camera guy,
Right.
like videographer, like kills it.
Right.
But yeah, he hit me one day. Was like, yeah, we're doing this thing with the whole Madden cover, blah blah blah, filming like the BTS. I just need
Right.
like a couple little lights. All you gotta do is hold a tube. So
Right.
so come to find out, my man was actually really cool with AB. Like
Word.
that was his guy. Like
Oh,
for some
word.
like from years
Yeah,
before he
that's
was even like number one
Right,
quarterback, right?
right.
So we end up going to his house. Listen, I met his wife and I met dude's kid. The kid had a tree house. His tree house was bigger than my house. It was bigger than my parents' house. It was in a tree. It was in a tree. I was like, yo,
I'm weak.
bigger than my
in a tree.
in a tree, right? Like in Pittsburgh. Like he had a spot in Pittsburgh.
Oh,
like their
weak.
house was already super big, but
Yeah.
the kid had a tree house. Lit. Bigger than my whole apartment.
Oh,
Like,
weak.
like
Did you see it? Like,
Yeah, I was in
I
it.
mean, like,
I bought
I'm about
the
to say,
games with the
I meant,
kid.
did you go in it? Like, what was in it? Like was it a kitchen? Was it a bedroom?
Yeah,
like,
no, it had like a little miniature fridge where
yeah.
he grabbed
It was like a
drinks and
studio
stuff.
kind of vibe.
It's like the kid was like he was probably like 7, 8, so he wasn't like a studio. Oh yeah, like a studio feel. I
Yeah.
thought you meant like he was rapping.
No, I meant like
Yeah,
it was like a studio
yeah,
crib,
almost like a studio feel, but it had bedrooms. It had like 2
Yeah.
bedrooms in there.
Oh, weak.
He had like a whole just as game room in the middle of the little living room.
I'm
like
weak.
Oh
His nigga had a
my
living
God.
room.
like, the
two
dude had a
bedrooms.
living room
Oh,
at
weak.
like 8, 9, like his
Oh,
whole like
weak.
space.
Yo, that's
Damn.
I was like, I live in this as a grown man
In
trying to
the
sneak
tree.
females
Yeah.
in a tree.
Yo, that's the kind of shit kids dream of, bro.
It's like
That's the kind of shit kids dream of, bro.
Like,
That's crazy. But yeah, man.
but Pittsburgh's a beautiful city. If no one's
city of
ever been there,
bridges.
yeah.
Did you have to go up to
Yeah,
Pittsburgh like
to do
from
that.
here to
Yeah.
there?
Yeah, it's a cool city.
Yeah, it was just like
Yeah,
it was
I've
only
been
like
down. Yeah,
4-hour drive. It
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
bad.
Pittsburgh is popping.
Food was pretty good out there. They do this weird thing where they put like French fries like on all their sandwiches. I forgot what they call it. It's a
Animal
weird-
style?
Huh?
That's like In
That's
and Out.
Animal-
No, that's not Animal Style. In
think
and Out.
about like In-N-Out.
I am
Yeah,
thinking
yeah,
about In and Out.
Yo, there's
weak.
this thing called the Flying Dutchman at In and Out. It's like it's a burger, but they just kind of give you a burger on a lettuce wrap. It's
Oh,
like,
wow.
weak.
It's weird that they have a whole weird menu.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
A little secret if you know
Oh,
what to
we-
say and shit. But now, bro, hey, we appreciate you, bro, for sliding through to fuck with us.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me.
Of course, bro. Is there anything that you got coming down, like, the pipeline that you want anybody to stay in tune to? Or is there anything that people should be on the lookout for?
Just keep a lookout for everything that what the weekend got going on.
Got you.
Um,
Tell them the handles. Your
Oh, yeah.
handle, the What a Weekend handle.
Yeah, follow What a Weekend at What a Weekend _ on IG. We had some big things coming down the pipeline. Shout out to my co-owners Dino and Kia. Shout out to Amber, A-Rad, Darius, everyone that helps me.
Shout out
do
A-Rad. We
everything.
had him on it as well, too. man.
Yeah, everyone that helped me from the beginning. Get to where I'm at. The people that I interview, Girls Eats 2, Nucci, Rich Grills, everyone that supported me just from the beginning. Thank you guys. Yeah, other than that, I do have a short film coming out soon called How to Get What You Deserve, written by my homie
tough.
Champshire.
Very tough. Do you have a date set up for that, or no,
Oh,
it's
man.
just coming soon?
we're going to just say coming soon.
Okay.
Right now, like real soon.
Right.
Yeah.
Because it's like it's already edited. Minus we're just going through the color process right now and a little bit of like sound design.
Right.
But outside of that, like it's picture locked. You know, we just hoping to just throw that thing in some some festivals.
Hell yeah.
You know, just run it up like that.
Hell
But
yeah, man.
yeah, that's what I got coming down the pipeline right now. And of course,
sure,
you'll see me on set some more. Like,
Yeah.
but yeah, like thank you guys again.
Yeah,
like,
that's probably
appreciate it.
Of
Yeah,
course, bro.
appreciate you coming through.
Yeah, man.
Make sure if you haven't subscribed to the channel.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? We'll see y'all next time.
Early.